Good morning, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Hello, everyone. This is Professor Dr. Ashok Kumar Gupta, CMD RFI. I feel honored to be invited to this international conference on innovative research in applied science, engineering, and technology, IC-IRASET. The aim of this conference is to provide the most complete and reliable source of information on the recent advancement in the field. This conference covers a broad range of topics in this field. Now it's my privilege and honor to welcome all the dignitaries, resource persons, and experts available for this conference. I am thankful to Dr. Saurabh Kumar Jain, Chairman RFI. I'm also thankful to Dr. Ajay Jain and the entire team, RFI and organizing institutes. I'm also thankful to Satkura team who has provided this platform for me. I'm thankful to all who have given their input in this conference and all participants who made this training program a success. Thanks for your patience. Thank you again. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rajesh. For this conference, I would like to say thanks to all the dignitaries and special thanks to participants to make that conference success. This conference is special designed for the engineering student who are pursuing the requirement of the PhD criteria in their specialized domain. So I would like to say thanks to all the sponsors like GHRF, EDGA, and Edu Academia. And I would like to say thanks, National Coordinator Dr. Ajay Jain, Research Foundation of India, Dr. Priyadashini Agnihotri, Northwest President Research Foundation of India, and special thanks to CMD Research Foundation of India RFI-CARE, Professor Dr. Ashok Kumar Gupta ji, to make that conference success. Already has been declared by the Dr. Rajesh. Then you can have a good look the souvenir of the conference regarding this. So again, at last, I would like to say thanks in Googly Woogly Winter to all the participants to make that conference success. So over to you, Mr. Safiq, to proceed the presentations of the paper. Start from the presenter who are present over there. So thank you very much, and over to you, please, Mr. Safiq. Thank you.
Good morning, one and all present here. I'm Swati Sharma, a research scholar from Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women University. And my topic of presentation is identifying the critical factors impacting the mental health of IT professionals. So, start with the introduction. The rapid growth of the information technology sector has brought significant economic advancements, but it has also led to challenges related to workplace mental health. With high stress levels, long hours, intense performance, expectations, mental health issues such as anxiety, depression, and burnout are increasingly common among IT professionals. This article examines the critical factors influencing mental health within this field, focusing an element like workload, work life balance, job security, and the effect of remote work. Understanding these factors is vital for organizations aiming to cultivate a healthier, more sustainable workplace. The objective of, of the study would be to identify the factors most responsible for mental health challenges in IT, understand the personal and organizational impact of these factors, provide insights for creating a healthier work environment in IT. Background of the study, the rapid growth of IT sectors, especially in technology, advancing countries like India, has transformed it into cornerstones of modern economic. The sector plays a vital role in driving innovations, supporting global enterprises, and enhancing productivity across various industries. However, the high-speed growth of IT industry comes with intense demands and a unique set of pressures on its workspace. The nature of work in IT and its mental health implementation, impact of remote work, the need of continuous learning and skill upgrading, job security and economic pressures, raising rates of mental health issues in IT, significance of addressing mental health in the IT sector. I just wanted to know, am I audible? Am I okay? So here's the literature review of my study. First point I mentioned here is mental health in high pressure work environments, occupational strength, stress, and mental health. Research of Masla and Leather in 2016 on burnout highlights that prolonged job stress without adequate recovery resources lead to physical and emotional exhaustion, a lack of personal accomplishment known as the three-dimensional burnout in the IT industries. These pressures are compounded by factors such as continuous work performance expectations and the rapid pace of technological changes. Second point I mentioned here is comparative study across industries. Comparative studies indicate that the IT professional report higher levels of stress and burnout than those in many other sectors. According to Johnson and in 2018, IT professionals exhibit unique mental health challenges due to demand of for long hours, cognitive strain, and rapid changes. For example, unlike traditional fields where skills may remain relevant other decades, IT role requires ongoing adaptation and learning, which can lead to chronic stress and constant sense of catching up. Some theoretical models of occupational stress and mental health include first is JRD model, job demand resources. JRD model suggests that job demands and job resources play a significant role in determining an employee's mental health outcomes. According to this model, IT professionals in roles with high job demands but limit resources are more susceptible to stress and burnouts. Second model I mentioned here is effort reward imbalance model. In ERA model, possessed that an imbalance between the efforts an employee puts into their job and the rewards they receive can lead to negative health outcomes. Third is cognitive behavioral stress model. This model proposed by Lazarus and Folkman examines how individual appraise and cope with stressful situations. Gap in current research, first point I mentioned here is insufficient focus on regional context. So while much of the research on mental health in IT has been conducted in Western context, studies specify focusing on India's unique workplace culture and economic pressures are limited. Second, need for longitudinal studies. Many studies provide snapshots of mental health at specific points, but longitudinal studies that track mental health over time are needed to better understand how job demands impact mental health across an IT professional's career. Third point I mentioned is limited research on remote work impacts. So while research on remote work is increasing, studies often lack depth in examining the psychological impact of prolonged remote work specific to the IT industry. Some ethical consideration we have to focus on: informed consent, confidentiality and data security, minimizing psychological harm, transparency and conflict of interest. Multimodal approaches we are using for questionnaire data is: first is combining questionnaire with other data sources, and second is adapted questionnaire. Adapted questionnaire powered by AI adjusts the questions based on the respondents' previous answers, making the assessment more personalized and potentially more accurate. This approach was demonstrated by Walters in 2021, who developed an adapted version of the PHQ-9 that uses reinforcement learning algorithm. Next, research methodology and material I'm using for data collection. I use the social media data, clinical data, and audio video recordings. Human subjects involvement. Yes, human subjects will be involved in the study. This includes individual whose social media post, clinical records, and audio video recording will be analyzed. Animal studies, no involvement of animal in this study. Data privacy. This study will implement strict measures to ensure the privacy and confidentiality of all data, including analysis to protect participants' identities. The core objectives of the study: the first objective is to identify key stressors and contributors to mental health challenges, assess the impact of organizational factors on mental health, evaluate individual factors affecting mental health, resilience, and coping, analyzing the effectiveness of mental health resources and support in the workplace. So primary data includes the questionnaire responses like demographic information, self-reported symptoms and experiences, activity data, 1 week of smartphone users, and clinical assessment. And secondary data include medical records, previous research findings, population statistics, literature on depression indications, and ethical guidelines. In methodology, first is participants recruitment. So 1,000 adults aged 18 to 65 recruited from diverse backgrounds, include of both clinical and non-clinical populations. Stratified sampling to ensure representations across age, gender, socioeconomic status. Data collection procedures, here we use standardized questionnaires, activity data, as I mentioned before, and model training and validations, 80-20 split for training and testing the data sets. So expected outcomes of my research is the expected outcome of the study on identifying critical factors impacting the mental health of IT professionals, recommendations and potential contributions to workplace mental health initiatives. These outcomes aim to enhance the understanding of mental health challenges in the IT sectors and provide actionable suggestions for organizational improvements. So identification of primary mental health stressors, quantitative assessment of mental health prevalence, in-depth understanding of personal and organizational impacts, evaluation of mental health resources. So conclusion of my studies, in conclusion, the study provide actionable recommendations for IT organizations and policymakers to address mental health concern in a high-stress industry by forecasting a supportive work environment, offering accessible resources, and promoting mental health awareness. The IT sector can help create a healthier, more sustainable work culture that enhances employee well-being, and productivity. This research contributes to the growing body of literature on occupational mental health and serve as a foundation for further studies to refine mental health practices in technology-driven workplaces. So here I conclude. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning, sir. So let me share the screen. I'm sharing my people. So is it visible? Is it visible? Okay. So my topic is balancing security and performance, a comparative analysis of encryption techniques in cloud computing. So as we already know that cloud computing is the provision of services on a particular common platform in which we don't have to buy or we don't have to hire everything. So whatever is needed as per the requirement, everything is available. So whatever we use, we pay accordingly. But this compromises the security also. Cloud computing is widely used, but this compromises the security. Like there can be security breach, like there can be loss of data, there can be any threat to the internal system. So in order to avoid that, we have various techniques. Encryption technique is one of them. But still there can be some breach of security by unauthorized users. So the problem statement is we have to keep a balance, we have to achieve a balance between encryption techniques and as well as the system performance, because we cannot challenge any one of them. If we are using any encryption technique, is that valid or is that fulfilling the basic requirement, as well as are we able to maintain the cost factor? That should be within the budget and affordability of the client. So the objective is to analyze the various metrics or the various algorithms like AES, RSA, THT, or RTHT. So basically, it is a comparative analysis study on the comparative analysis of these algorithms. So there are various encryption techniques like AES, which is symmetric, and it is to some extent it is efficient. Then we have RSA, which is asymmetric, and in this we have to exchange we have to exchange a key, security key, which is exchanged between the parties. And there is homomorphic encryption, which allows operations on encrypted data. So these techniques were examined. So this is the flow of research methodology. So basically in research methodology, we have client side and the server side. Server side, we can say there are two. Basically, there are two parties, client and server. So we have to improve the security of these two. So that can be incorporated with the help of digital signatures, and in digital signatures we can make use of encryption methods. And second point is, if we want to use, we can use any of these techniques which are already available, AES, RSA, and DES. But it will all depend upon the need of the client, and we have to analyze the budget as well as the requirement of the client. Depending upon that, we can choose any one of these. So there is always exchange of the encryption and decryption method in which the keys are exchanged. So there are various ways to exchange the keys. That can be public or private. And key management is basically, it can be dynamic or it can be static, depending upon the need. But that in real-time scenario, there can be certain problems regarding the complexity and the cost factor. So in order to ensure that everything is available, everything is accessible, the cloud provider they have to supply certain files to the storage areas, storage servers. Those files are available. So in literature review,